Hey guys, welcome back. In the last episode of TheCubicle, we showed you guys the flagship version of the Tornado V4. Yesterday, we got the Pioneer version in the mail. So today, we'll open it up and show you what new technologies QiYi added. First things first, this feels heavier than this one. So the TV4 flagship is 72 grams, and the Pioneer is 83 grams. So it's about an 11 gram difference. First, let's just try these cubes and see if there's anything we can notice right off the bat. So in the first video, we remarked that the TV4 flagship is really similar to the TV3, except it's a little blockier, more stable, and a little more compact. So you can really feel the pieces sliding against each other. And let's see how this Pioneer goes. Oh, it's interesting. So this cube is pretty similar. It still feels like a TV4, except there is an additional level of tactility that I can't really articulate in English very well. I just know that there's something on the inside that feels different. So let's take a look and see what, oh, okay, well that's obvious. Look at this. All right, check this out. So there are two additional magnets here on top of the one that was normally present on the flagship. So my brain can't 100% comprehend how these magnets interact just right off the bat, but I will turn the cube slowly and try to see where the magnets line up. So here I'm turning the cube slowly and I can tell there is some repulsion and then attraction here. So it has a very strong auto alignment from like where it touches the magnet here. So after studying this a little more closely, we noticed that these side magnets repel the corner. So when they're fully lined up, they're actually repelling. If you go past the magnet here with the corner magnet, it speeds it up into alignment. But before that, it kind of slows it down. So the auto alignment is like from here to here. That's the feeling I get here. So that feeling is really apparent when you're turning slow, but when you're turning fast, I think you would be dishonest if I said that I 100% felt like the presence of these extra magnets, because I really don't. I definitely feel that this is different, but I can't tell that it's like the repulsion and then the push. It's not obvious to me. I wonder what happens if you turn the M-slice. So one thing I did notice here is that it's challenging to begin turning the M-slice. Like if you go slowly here, but then here, there's like a big click here. Let's see here. Yeah, this is not as obvious. So for the M slices, this is where it becomes really clear what the cube does. Like right here, boom.
But like you don't want the cube to stop there, like on its own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right at that like almost turned position.
You know, it's definitely different. I think highlighting how the M-slice works makes it more obvious that it's different, but it's not unequivocally better because as Jesse said, he's not sure if he even likes M-slices to feel that way. And I feel the same. I'm not sure if I want my M-slices to feel this like big bump at the end and to be slightly harder to like do a startup turn. You know, this is more predictable for me. Like this just makes a little more sense because the turn is just straight and moves at kind of one direction and one rate. Like over here, there's a lot of different speeds that the layer turns in. I'm not sure if I can get used to it. Maybe I can if I cubed a lot, but I'm not convinced this is 100% better. The Pioneer, this is a cool idea to put in a cube, and I'm impressed that they implemented it in their flagship because it is a risk. I'm not sold that this is 100% better in every situation. I'm gonna do a lot more solves on it to understand how it can be better, but yeah, my first impression is, while it's a good cube, I'm not sold on this tech. So the decision between the TV3, Pioneer, and flagship was a pretty simple one. I think the spring makes it more controllable, and more people who prefer controllable cubes are more likely to like the flagship over the Pioneer. And honestly, I think the difference between these two is weirder. Like, on one hand, the flagship is a predictable cube that you can get used to very easily, and when you pick it up, you're like, oh yeah, it's a TV3 but better. This cube is just weird. I can't get into a rhythm solving on it, and although the magnets make it feel different, there's nothing in my brain that recognizes that difference as better. It's just different in an interesting way. You know how like someone like makes dinner for you and like it's not good and you're like, yeah, man, thanks. That's real interesting. I don't know how to say it. Like, QiYi, you've cooked this for us. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, long story short, if you want to upgrade to a nice, reliable cube, I really recommend the flagship. It's simple and it's effective, and it's a great continuation of the famous Tornado brand. The Pioneer is kind of a funny outlier. It might be good for you, but it caused me to personally be a little worried about my turning accuracy because the magnets were kind of all over the place. So if you're slightly worried about that and you had to pick one cube, I'd go with the flagship. You can find both of these plus more on TheCubicle.com. So come check us out, and hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye, my friends.